Welcome. In this video, we'll be tackling a classic algebraic problem involving square roots. Our goal is to solve the equation you see on the screen. The square root of x plus the square root of x equals x. By the end of this video, you will be able to solve radical equations by combining like terms and squaring both sides. Let's begin by writing down our equation. This is the starting point for our problem. We have the square root of x plus the square root of x equals x. Now the first step is to simplify the left side of the equation. Notice we have two identical terms. We can combine them just like we would with any other variable. The square root of x plus the square root of x is simply 2 times the square root of x. So our simplified equation becomes 2 times the square root of x equals x. This is the first key step, combining like terms to simplify the expression. Our simplified equation is 2 times the square root of x equals x. To continue solving, we need to get rid of the square root. Remember, the inverse operation of a square root is squaring. Whatever we do to one side of an equation, we must do to the other to keep it balanced. So we will square both sides of our equation. This gives us 2 times the square root of x all squared equals x squared. Let's expand the left side. 2 times the square root of x times itself is the square of 2, which is 4, times the square of the square root of x, which is x. So the left side simplifies to 4x. Now our equation is 4x equals x squared. Notice that by squaring both sides, we have successfully eliminated the square root, transforming our problem into a standard quadratic equation. Our current equation is 4x equals x squared. To solve a quadratic equation, we first need to set it equal to 0. We can do this by subtracting 4x from both sides of the equation. This gives us 0 equals x squared minus 4x. We can rewrite this as x squared minus 4x equals 0, which is a standard form quadratic equation. Now we need to solve for x. One of the best ways to solve this specific type of quadratic is by factoring out the greatest common factor. In the expression x squared minus 4x, both terms have x in them. So the greatest common factor is x. When we factor x out, we are left with x times the quantity x minus 4 equals 0. This is the factored form of our quadratic equation. We've arrived at the equation x times the quantity x minus 4 equals 0. To find the solutions, we use the zero product property. This property states that if the product of 2 or more factors is 0, then at least one of the factors must be 0. In our equation, our factors are x and x4. So we set each of them equal to 0 to find the possible solutions. Our first possibility is that x equals 0. This is one potential solution. Our second possibility is that x minus 4 equals 0. Adding 4 to both sides gives us x equals 4. This is our second potential solution. So we have found 2 possible answers, x equals 0 and x equals 4. But we're not done yet. Whenever you square both sides of an equation, you must check your answers. This is because squaring can sometimes introduce what we call extraneous solutions. An extraneous solution is a value that solves the squared equation, but not the original equation. Let's check our 2 possible solutions. First, let's check x equals 0. We'll substitute it back into the original equation. The square root of 0 is 0. So we get 0 plus 0 equals 0, which is a true statement. This confirms that x equals 0 is a valid solution. Now let's check our second solution, x equals 4. Substituting it in gives us the square root of 4 plus the square root of 4 equals 4. The square root of 4 is 2. So we have 2 plus 2 equals 4, which is also a true statement. This means x equals 4 is also a valid solution. Both of our solutions are valid. Our final answer is x equals 0 and x equals 4. So let's quickly recap the steps we took to solve this radical equation. First, we started with our equation and simplified the left side by combining like terms. Second, we squared both sides to eliminate the radical and create a quadratic equation. Third, we set the quadratic equation to 0 and factored it to find the potential solutions. Finally, and most importantly, we checked our potential solutions in the original equation to ensure they were valid. By following these steps, we successfully solved the problem. We found that the solutions to the square root of x plus the square root of x equals x are x equals 0 and x equals 4. You now know how to solve radical equations by combining terms and squaring. Great work!